I've been at CPU for 4 years, and it's been a very positive experience. I've enjoyed working with the staff, and I've had great classes. I've been able to teach 3 different courses, and it's been great.
I've been here 8 years, and I'm getting towards the end of my teaching career. I would have to say that these 8 years have probably been the best 8 years of my teaching career. I really enjoyed them, and largely it's a matter of the students. I mean, the material is no different than the teaching material I've dealt with before. But the students here have really made this an exceptional experience, and I'm going to miss it.
And within, a year of living here and adjusting to the way of life and to adjusting to being Malaysia, I fell in love with it, and I do consider it at this point a second home to me. So I will be returning to Malaysia, even though I'm leaving CPU, because my wife is Malaysian, and that's another reason why I've fallen in love with Malaysia, is because I've met and married a Malaysian local. So I'm going to be always tied to Malaysia in that way, and I'm going to return in the future.
I've grown up in a society where I've always been the different one, be it race, religion, and here I felt at home, even if I didn't have the language under control. But I loved it here. I loved not being the other. So that was like the feeling idea. Everything's halal here, which is awesome. I can eat everything I see, but except for the Chinese places. But I really enjoyed life here, and I enjoyed year-round summer a lot. That's what I feel about Malaysia.
Yeah, no, I would definitely have to agree with him. Number one, hands down, I love Malaysian weather. If you've ever been to Canada, it does get quite cold in the winter time, so that's something I appreciated. I loved walking out the door, not having to zip up my coat, scarf, mittens, all that. I have had experience traveling and working abroad, and like most places, there are negatives and positives. I have to say my time in Malaysia, there were definitely more positives than negatives. So one, I've mentioned the weather, food, the culture, and I was impressed in terms of Malaysia with the variety of places to go on vacation. Surrounding countries, as well as Malaysia, such a beautiful country, has a lot to offer. The highlands, the beaches, the city.
For a very reasonable price.
Yeah, so I've definitely enjoyed living in Malaysia.
CPU, this is my first experience being able to teach teenagers at the secondary level. This might be a fun fact for everybody. I teach the elementary grades in Canada. So I'm an elementary teacher from ages 10 to 14. And I've never been able to teach at the secondary level or the pre-university level ever. So I am very happy to have had that opportunity and work with teenagers to see the similarities between them and younger students and the differences, both intellectually and emotionally and socially. It's very, very interesting to have stumbled on. So that opportunity is awesome, and CPU's setup for lecturers is awesome. You get as many prep periods as you get classes. So if you teach 3 classes, you get 3 preparatory periods, which is unheard of in Canada. Canada, it's like hardly any preparatory time and all teaching throughout the day. So they're very good to your teachers here.
For me, I've absolutely enjoyed my time here at CPU. I think one of the positives, I use that word a lot, about CPU, and something that was new for me was blended learning. It was a chance for me as a teacher to develop my use of technology in the classroom with Google Docs, Google Classroom, and it allowed for flexibility and time for me to meet one-on-one with students and have that opportunity for conferencing and really work with them to give them really good feedback, which sometimes with a busy schedule, especially when I was in Canada, we just didn't have that chance. So that's been great.
CPU has been really fun. We did a lot of crazy wild things. I think from we just dissected some kidneys last week. We're gonna do another brain. We're gonna dissect a brain for fun. And then I had a lot of fun in advanced functions with doing a lot of crazy things with every single student here. Yeah. Malaysia was equally fun. I wish I could have joined the students to do the BKA class, because if I teach in Bahasa, all I know how to teach in advanced functions is Satu, Dua, and Tiga. And in biology, I'll be able to teach Saya, Pening, Capella, right? Yeah? Yeah, so I get to learn a lot about the culture in Malaysia. It was very, very fun. I learned really, really different things, and it was great.
It's been a fantastic experience, quite awesome from my perspective. I would not have stayed for 6.5 years here in Malaysia at Taylor's College if there wasn't a great deal of positive in the experience professionally as well as personally. My wife and I have had the great opportunity to do a lot of travel in Southeast Asia, indeed around the world during this time, and I've worked with fantastic people at the college, and moreover the students are the best I have ever seen. Dedicated, focused, polite, wonderful students to work with here at CPU.
Crying. I have received a position at a brand new school opening up in Markham, Ontario, which is a small, not small at all. It's a city outside of Toronto. It's a brand new school, and I've been selected as the grade 7-8 teacher. So in Canada we have combined grades, where 2 different grades are in the same class and you have to teach them at the exact same time. It's great. So I'll be the grade 7-8 teacher, but I'm thinking and I'm hoping I'm also going to be the technology lead. That hasn't been told to me yet, but I'm hoping it happens.
For me, I was lucky enough to also land a position in New York region, Markham, so I'm close to him, carpool. But we will be at different schools, so I'm at a secondary school with 6 preps, unlike at CPU with 2. So it is going to be a huge transition back home, but I'm always excited for a new challenge and being in the classroom.
6 preps or classes? 6 classes?
Probably preps. Anyway.
Prep means?
6 different classes.
Yeah.
So that's in terms of professionally, and I will continue to develop technology skills, learn new things. So professionally, I'll be in the classroom at a new high school. Personally, hope to sometime in the near future start a family in Canada, and we really enjoyed our time here in Malaysia, so the international teaching gig is something that we hope to continue.
I'm moving to Indonesia to teach at an international school there. I'm only leaving because it's a course that I've always wanted to teach that just isn't available here.
And I'm also moving on to the Cayman Islands, which is in the Caribbean. And again, it represents a great opportunity for me. I'll be teaching IB English at the diploma level. More to be closer to family. My wife and I, when we came here, we had 1 grandchild. Now we have 4, and there's a 5th on the way. And it's difficult for my wife, especially, to be that far away from our family. So Caribbean will allow us to be 4 hours from home instead of 24 hours from home. So it's going to make a huge difference. If it weren't for that, I would be happy to stay.
I'll be teaching in Hong Kong. I'll be teaching advanced functions again in Hong Kong. Lynn said I should get married. That's not going to happen.
Well, unlike the younger teachers, I am now finishing 41 years in education. So my plans when my wife and I return to Canada at the end of June is actually just to retire. So that really is my plan, to be closer to my children and my grandchildren, and be able to take a little slower pace of life in the future, but with many warm memories here.
To students coming to CPU, I would say chill out, don't stress. I find that a lot of students, when they first arrive at CPU, have this this overhanging sense of dread, I think, about university and about CPU from what they hear. That, you know, it's very it's difficult. There's a lot of assignments, and it's hard to manage your time and all of that. But I do think that all students who I've talked to who have left CPU and gone on to university really reflect back on their time at CPU as being one of the best experiences of their lives. And I think that coming into CPU, you need to kind of strip away your preconceived notions of what college life is about, because while there is a lot of work, and you know, there are going to be stressful times with exams and ISUs and that, it is going to be a very rewarding experience for you. So I would say just chill out, relax, and you will get through it. For new lecturers coming in, I'll say good luck, and I think that you've made a great decision to come here. Of the schools that I've worked at internationally, CPU, what really sets it apart from the others is the sense of community amongst the staff members here. So in terms of sharing of resources and sharing of ideas and just the social aspect, all of us are friends. Everybody at CPU are friends. We're friendly with each other. We hang out on the weekends. We get together for parties. We get together for events. And I would say, coming in, be social, because you'll find that you'll make some great friendships here, and you'll hopefully love every minute of your time at CPU.
If you're going to be a student, work hard, play hard, but equally work harder. If it's a teacher, do enjoy Malaysia culture. At least learn more than Tigger after me. What's next?
Empat.
Oh, Pop. I learned today. Yeah. And then enjoy Malaysia.
Future teachers, everything you do here resonates and ripples. So if you come here and you're only here for 2 years and you think to yourself, oh, okay, I'll only be here for 2 years and then I'll go back to wherever or move on to somewhere else, remember, your students don't leave here. Whatever your footprint is in Malaysia, it will continue on. So inspire these students, motivate these students, teach these students to the best of your ability, because they are the ones that are staying in Malaysia and making Malaysia a better country. So put your all into these students, because Malaysia is a country with huge potential and could have huge growth if the right people get into power. So empower these students the way you would any students, the way you should every student, but just know that this country has insane potential and could do so well. So what we do for these students could be to the betterment of this country after. So come in here and work to your highest potential.
Well said. I'd have to agree. That every single student that we work with has great potential. So treat the students as you would students back home, and put your best effort forth. The more you are able to give and grow, the more enriching experience that you will have.
For future CPU students, I would say, out of this experience, I don't think you'll ever have an opportunity like this one, in this kind of situation. High school's one thing and university is another, but this was it's a great time for a lot of students, I think.
I would say you're going to have to unlearn a lot of things that you took for granted. You're going to have to unlearn putting your teachers on a pedestal. They're not. Consider them as colleagues rather than superiors, and you'll get along a lot better. We look at our students as future leaders. They are going to be the ones that are going to lead this country and that are going to lead the world into solving some of the problems that the previous generation was unable to solve. So you are not in any way inferior to your teachers. You need to grab a hold of that fact.
You have it good. You have it good. Everything you have bestowed onto you, this opportunity to come to school, private school at that, a pre-U. You know, I don't know if you understand, you are literally going to a school as if everything in this building is located in North America, but you're in Malaysia. That's a huge opportunity that you didn't have to pay the fees to go international or anything like that. You're getting what would be deemed a North American education in the confines of your own home. So it's an amazing opportunity. So give back. Give back. There is a refugee crisis in Malaysia. There are people who are suffering from poverty. There's inequalities. There's imbalances in your country, and you are in a very, I'm not gonna say you're in a bubble, but you have been well taken care of and protected, and you have things that other people don't have. So give back. So when you become something, do some things that will enrich the lives of other people. Because that's actually, you know, when they look at what cures depression and people who have sadness issues, the #1 thing is enrich the lives of someone else, do volunteer work or give back, and that's the one thing that helps you derive personal happiness when you help others. So I would say you're lucky and you deserve it, but help someone else attain the same as well.
And for me, to CPU students, I think #1 is to acknowledge that you've been given this great opportunity to be at an educational institution that provides you with a lot of support and has high standards. So be grateful for that opportunity and definitely make the most of it. Come into CPU serious, knowing that you want to achieve those high standards and you want to move on to bigger and better things. Use the supports that are available. We have great staff, great admin, and get involved. At the end of this whole journey, of course, the academics are important and we want you to take that seriously, but often what we remember is the friendships and connections that we've made with one another. Being at CPU, there's students from all over the world that come to CPU. You've got international students, so it allows you to interact with one another, break down some of those barriers or walls, form those connections and long-lasting friendships.
Well, as far as students go, this is the most awesome experience for both Malaysian and international students. This is better than any high school in Ontario. This is a population of students that are really focused on getting into university, and it's a wonderful opportunity for new teachers. As I go to Canada every year at Queen's University every January to recruit new staff, I sincerely tell them that Malaysia is the best country in Asia for an English-speaking Western person to be in. It's a great mix of many cultures here, and you know, the professional opportunity they get from being at Taylor's College is a great asset to their career. And so I've been very fortunate to gather a wonderful team, getting the right people on the bus at CPU.
Bye CPU lah!
Bye CPU.
Bye CPU.
Goodbye to CPU and all the wonderful staff, but I will hold many cherished memories in the future.